Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Thanks so much for being here and welcome back to the relationship series, Renegotiate All Your Relationships. Part 2, Clear Out the Fear. I want to share a story with all of you. Most of you could remember the amazing movie which dealt with the Chronicles of the Never-Ending Story. A very interesting tale about a young boy who had to save the world from the evil nothing. And he had to travel to the outer reaches to enter this nether world where he was going to fight. But he could only enter this world if he really had the courage in his heart to do so. He was met with these two giant oracles, and if he was fearful or shaky at all, the laser beam which came from the two oracles' eyes would annihilate him. So he had to really feel it from deep within his soul to cross over into this new world and preparing yourself to renegotiate your life and your relationships is no different. This is a new thing, so it requires a fresh and very clear energy. Have you ever noticed that the best negotiations in the world start from a position of strength? If you come to the table shaky, unsure, and filled with doubt, your negotiations are not going to go well. Why? Because if you're in doubt, you infuse doubt into the negotiations. So how do you prepare to come to the negotiations of life with strength from a position of power? It really involves 3 steps, and these three steps will be your updated homework assignment. Number 1 is to identify the pain associated with continuing the pattern. 2, take ownership of what you're asking for and willing to give in the negotiation. And 3, be prepared to win, lose, or draw. Let's look at each of these closely because, again, it's what you're going to be doing for your assignment. You're going to be exploring all 3 areas. Number 1, identify the pain associated with continuing the pattern that you are in. I received several notes yesterday after I posted up the first installation, and one subscriber wrote me a very heartfelt letter, and she asked, is it fair? Is it reasonable for me to expect and ask for reciprocity in my relationships? It was a really good question, and I responded to her and said, not only is it reasonable and fair, if you don't do it, you're going to continue to experience resentment, frustration, and hostility in your relationships. And if that's what you're doing, you're not enjoying your relationships. So it's really important to identify the painful patterns associated with where you are now so you can move forward in a position of strength. We will deal with the mechanics, the technical aspects of negotiation in later videos. Right now, we're just laying a firm, solid foundation for you to stand on. Number 3, take ownership of what you're willing to ask for, what you want, and what you're willing to give. When you come to the table and from your soul, you can say, you know what? I know in my spirit, I'm asking for things that are right, fair, and just. I'm not asking for the sky to fall. I'm asking from a reasonable position. My soul and my life is expanding. The best relationships will stretch, flex, and grow with you. I remember a point in time when I had to enter into some negotiations because I had worked on a project for a very long time. I knew in my soul it was time for me to negotiate for a more prominent role in the production of this project. And I'll tell you the reason why things went my way, I'm certain of it, is because I came from a position of strength and knew in my soul that I had earned the right to ask for what I was asking, as well as I was very clear on what I was prepared to give in the future. So had I not had that strength when they started to push back at me, I would have toppled. And sometimes people will not give you what you deserve because they're just not thinking about it. It's not aligned with their interest. Sometimes it's just something that goes over their radar. Sometimes they're trying to be slick. Sometimes they don't know what your wants, needs, and desires are. There's a million reasons, but the bottom line is the art of negotiation. The art of asking, the art of compromise is going to serve you well across all areas of your life. Yes, we're talking about relationships here, but it's going to come in handy across the board. Third area I want you to explore and meet me back here in 24 to 48 hours is being prepared to win, lose, or draw. If you are not ready to come to the table of negotiation, having fairly looked at all the potential outcomes and possibilities, you are not ready to start negotiating or renegotiating your relationships. It's like the famous song goes, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to put those running shoes on and get out the door. Negotiations are really about holding firm, being willing to compromise, but holding firm in what you are asking for and what you're willing to give. I remember I went through a time in life where I knew it was time to renegotiate all of my relationships. And when I tell you all of them, it was really a change in the lay of the land for everything. And there were two particular friendships that because of my lack of growth and maturity at the time had become completely one-sided, and I just knew it was time to switch it up. But I also knew that when I brought these individuals to the table, there was a variety of potential outcomes. Now, here's the interesting thing. One of the friends that I needed to straighten some things out with, we sat, we had a very reasonable conversation. It was like that come to Jesus talk. Not only did she handle it well, she received my information and my thoughts in a beautiful spirit. We're still very much friends today. I think that whole period of renegotiation, it took the friendship to another level. So it was a win, and it was a win for both of us. Second individual really could not get on board with the new Sheila and wanted the old version, which in so many ways was just a doormat. Wasn't willing to do that anymore or be that anymore for anyone. And this friendship did end, but I will tell you what, it ended in health, and I've never looked back. I will say again, the best relationships that you will ever have in your life are the ones that stretch, flex, and grow with you. And particularly when you are asking for things to bring a relationship into balance, to bring it into health and wholeness, and a person gets up and walks away from the negotiation table, I tell you from my soul, they've done you a favor. So for your assignment here for this particular installation, I want you to review all three areas. Leave no stone unturned for yourself, and meet me back here in 24 to 48 hours. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.